Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. I hope all of you have got a very good day going so far, a blessed Friday of course, but there is a lot that we need to discuss as far as the Asia Cup and cricket is concerned because everything is on the cards now. We talk about this Pakistan-India game that has now been given a reserve day. This final decision would officially be announced, but the fact is that everything is confirmed that just for the Pakistan-India game, a reserve day model has been agreed by the Asian Cricket Council, courtesy of the suggestions given by the Pakistan Cricket Board, because I'll be very honest, broadcasters were not too happy about the way things were going. So there were definitely, as far as the legal pursuit is concerned, they were not happy. There were legal things that could have happened as far as this match was concerned. So a reserve day has been agreed upon because Pakistan versus India is not just a crowd seller, but if you look at the financial perspective of it in terms of broadcasting, it is also something that is very, very lucrative. So obviously nobody wants to create a chaos over here as far as I think the money model is concerned. But that being said, it's good to see a reserve day, but at the same time, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh would be feeling why they don't have a reserve day. So I think you got to have the same format for everything, not just for, two separate things. So that is something where now we're stuck in a conundrum. And the weather in Colombo, it's been raining for a couple of days non-stop, but right now the latest is that the skies have cleared. So the blue skies over Colombo, if it continues like this for at least 1.5 or 2 days, then you can have a proper game because you need sunlight to dry the ground, because we were told that there are puddles in the ground right now. That's what the latest news was. So I don't know the situation of the ground particularly well and thoroughly, but I do know that there was water there, puddles were there, and it needed sunlight to dry out. But thankfully the heavens have cleared and we're hoping for a complete game, because you don't want a game affected by rain, you want a complete game for Pakistan and India. So we'll talk about that in detail. Then of course we move on to the game tomorrow when the Super 4 round begins. Teams have arrived in Colombo. Bangladesh face Sri Lanka in the second match of the Super 4, the first match of the Sri Lanka leg, so we'll talk about that as well. But also Pakistan women's team is up against the South African women's team. That match is taking place at Karachi. Action is live on PTV Sports. You can watch it there as well. It's an interesting game. After the ball in studios, we've been joined by cricket commentator, broadcaster, presenter, and our cricket and sports expert, K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm very well, sir. Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by sports expert, regular feature on Sports Extra, Ali Mehdi. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm very well, Ahmed.
And we've also been joined by senior sports journalist Syed Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you? Right, we'll just go towards a short break now. When we come back, we'll discuss things in detail. Stay tuned.
Kashmir's demand-free and impartial plebiscite under United Nations auspices. United Nations resolutions have upheld the Kashmiris' right to decide their future through plebiscite. Kashmiris are still awaiting the implementation of United Nations resolutions regarding plebiscite. Plebiscite under the United Nations resolutions is the only solution to the Kashmir dispute. World should share responsibility to seek immediate resolution of the Kashmir dispute as per United Nations resolutions.
While the world's attention is often drawn to the popular tourist destinations in Pakistan's northern areas, there are still hidden treasures that remain undiscovered even today. Nestled in the Lasbela district of Balochistan, Pakistan, Sapat Beach is a hidden gem that few people know about. Located approximately 200 kilometers from Karachi and 20 kilometers from the Kund Malir beach, reaching this beach requires a bit of effort. However, beyond the well-trodden paths lie hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. The most captivating feature of Sapat Beach is the mesmerizing rock formation known as Bujiko. These unique rocks emerge from the coastal sand, enhancing the beach's aesthetic beauty. Sapat Beach is often referred to as the Ghost of Caves due to its numerous cave formations. Carved by natural erosion, these caves offer a fascinating glimpse into the geological history of the region. During the day, the sapphire waters of the sea captivate the senses. The crystal clear waters invite visitors to swim, dive, and engage in various water activities. Additionally, Sapat Beach is a popular spot for fishing, where local fishermen can be seen casting their nets into the sea, adding to the area's vibrant atmosphere. But when the night falls, something truly magical happens at Sapat Beach. The microscopic organisms in the water emit a soft blue light, bioluminescence, creating a captivating and unique sight. This phenomenon, caused by bioluminescent microbes, transforms the darkness into a mesmerizing display. The cool moonlight embraces the transparent waves, merging with the enchanting blue glow. Despite its natural glory, Sapt Beach remains relatively unknown, with minimal tourism activities due to its challenging routes and limited transportation options. However, this very aspect ensures that the environment remains untouched, preserving the beach's pristine beauty. To embark on this adventure, it is advisable to hire a local guide who can navigate the rocky terrain. The journey may present its challenges, but the rewards are immeasurable. Sadly, a place as beautiful as Sapat Beach remains a hidden gem to many. It serves as a touching reminder that our world still holds undiscovered wonders awaiting exploration. A visit to Sapat Beach allows you to unwind, immerse yourself in natural beauty, and escape the chaos of city life. So, if you seek an extraordinary and unforgettable experience, the journey to Sapat Beach is one you won't regret.
Kashmir's demand-free and impartial plebiscite under United Nations auspices. United Nations resolutions have upheld the Kashmiris' right to decide their future through plebiscite. Kashmiris are still awaiting the implementation of United Nations resolutions regarding plebiscite. Plebiscite under the United Nations resolutions is the only solution to the Kashmir dispute. World should share responsibility to seek immediate resolution of the Kashmir dispute as per United Nations resolutions. Kashmiris demand free and impartial plebiscite under United Nations auspices. United Nations resolutions have upheld the Kashmiris' right to decide their future through plebiscite. Kashmiris are still awaiting the implementation of United Nations resolutions regarding plebiscite. Plebiscite under the United Nations resolutions is the only solution.
And welcome back, and now we discuss things in detail. Sir Haider, if we look at the entire Asia Cup in perspective, I would be an individual who would never be happy with the hybrid model as well. So that is one part of the story. But I think not just us in Pakistan, all over the world, especially I think some sane voices from India have also given some heavy criticism to Mr. Jay Shah and the way he's handled this situation. It's been sort of a childish behavior from an individual who enjoys power at BCCI and ACC, which is already a conflict of interest.
Absolutely. I'm really disappointed to see what they are doing. Jay Shah as a chairman of Asian Cricket Council, they have done very pathetic things. I think they are destroying the cricket. It is need of cricket that both countries, Pakistan and India, to play more and more cricket. I think he has made a plan to destroy Pakistan cricket only. And what they have planned to play out of the Pakistan, it is against the spirit of cricket. But I'm surprised why the other nations, other cricket playing nations, they have not made any voice about it. And now India they have done all the matches in Colombo. There the weather is very bad. I think they are seeking some way by which they can prevent their team from the defeats before the World Cup. I would say that. Because if you are not facing the Pakistan in good weather and good weather conditions and full match, that means that you are trying to escape from the situation. It is very, very bad thing. And all of the people who love the cricket, who want to play, to watch the cricket, they are criticizing. Even a lot of people, I have spoken with a lot of journalists in India, my friends, and they are also criticizing what they are doing. And it was always surprised that Jay Shah is a very young man. He is the secretary of the BCCI and now the chairman of the president of Asian Cricket Council. So it is really what they are doing. It is destroying the cricket. It is destroying the cricket relations between two nations. And they are really disappointing all the cricket fans all over the world, because India and Pakistan, they are always people are very much interested to watch the cricket between both countries. And if he's doing such type of childish behavior, then I would say that they are not friend of cricket. They are the enemy of the cricket.
But truly, I think the way the situation has been handled, Asif, as a broadcaster yourself, somebody who's associated with this business, the reserve day has been approved, so I think it's positive news. Let's be honest about it. But you know, the whole concept of trying to take cricket away from Pakistan, obviously they've tried for ages. They've not been able to achieve that heinous agenda of that BJP extremist mindset. But the fact is that you know, it's a sorry approach for any cricket-loving nation, whether you're sitting in Pakistan, India, and like I said, if you gauge social media, a lot of voices from India have directly criticized Jay Shah for his approach on this entire matter.
Well, I'll talk about little different, because you know that if we talk about the scenario, what was the scenario? Everyone was looking at what could be the weather forecast in Colombo. So the rest of the Asian countries, Nepal, so Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, never of them they broke the ice against India. Now they would have to face the music there, first of all. If you're saying that there's a reserve day for the Pakistan cricket Pakistan versus India, and there isn't any reserve day
Not
for
at
the
all.
Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. It's
Not at all.
injustice. Being cricket lover, being cricket commentator, broadcaster, I don't want to see this. You'd have to, distribute each and everything with the justice. You're giving an extra day for Pakistan and India. Why? Just because of the media pressure, just because of the billions of the people they want to watch this game. They want to watch each and every game like this because, yes, being Pakistani, I would love to watch Pakistan India playing, and if there is any rain, then I appreciate that there is a reserve day. But why not like against for Bangladesh or Sri Lanka? Because so I think their cricket boards are responsible because they didn't speak anything against Jay Shaw. Where the Indian media, they're just criticizing because you know that right before the program you were discussing the media rights, and then the rest of the marketing companies, they're just watching and eyeing that what will happen in the Pakistan-India game, and if there is no game, they're just announcing just because of this pressure, yes, we have reserved day for Pakistan-India. I think it's not injustice with the Pakistan-India, it's injustice with the cricket, with the ODI cricket, and I think everyone is responsible, including Bangladesh Cricket Board, Afghanistan Cricket Board, and the Sri Lankan Cricket Board as well.
Ali Mehdi, particularly when we gauge this situation, I think from the prospect of the Asian Cricket Council, which is supposed to be an autonomous body, the entire model, hybrid model, the only reason why it was accepted was that Pakistan, let's be honest, was in a desperate position to hang on to the tournament and not, go into a situation where the tournament doesn't happen. So, okay, we'll give some points to Pakistan for making the Asia Cup happen at least, otherwise it was not on the cards. But then again, you had to compromise on a lot of things. And once you were moving to Sri Lanka, not the UAE, you knew what the situation was going to be like.
We always knew that the situation was going to be like this. We're at the tail end of the monsoon season. And look, if you look at history, Sri Lanka never has matches at this time of the year. You're talking about the end of August, beginning of September. And the reason being is because Colombo actually has the tail end of the monsoon season, which is coming in. And because Colombo is actually a port city too, so, because of that, there's a lot of precipitation in Colombo too. So it just doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely illogical that they're having matches in Colombo in the first place. Look, you're talking about a hybrid model over here. If you really want the hybrid model, which is completely understandable, Pakistan has the rights to. I completely, favor Pakistan. And okay, fine, if you're talking from a neutral point of view, it's completely fine. You had matches in Pakistan. But if you want to have it in Sri Lanka, other than Colombo, there are two other cities, two other stadiums where you could actually have these matches. And you talk about Hanbantota and Dambula. Now, these are two areas which are actually dry areas. They don't have precipitation, and they actually are very good at this time of the year too. So it's very, very illogical, by the decision. The Sri Lankan Cricket Board also said right now that we were actually willing, and we were under, we actually believed that the matches were actually going to be moved to Hanbantota and or possibly even Dambula too, but at the last moment, Jay Shah and and his cult, I'd have to say this, decided that since he runs ACC and he made a unilateral decision that we are not going to have it in this Hanbantota. We are going to move it to Colombo, which is makes absolutely no sense. You look at this rain radar for the next 10 days. It is rain non-stop.
Absolutely.
But right now, yes, it's very dry conditions. But I fear that despite the fact that we actually have a reserve day for that matter, and you can debate whether it should happen or not, I think we're really going to be affected by rain for the next few months.
Asif, you'd like to add to that argument, but I'd also like to know your opinion. The fact is that the Asian Cricket Council is not just made up of Mr. Jay Shah, it comprises of other Asian countries as well. And if you look at the 6 teams in this Asia Cup tournament, if 5 of them had agreed to play in Pakistan, then you could have used that to your advantage.
Well, Ahmed, I was raising that point, and as Ali Mehdi referring towards Hambantota, the issue is that you don't have infrastructure there. You don't have 5-star hotels there.
That's what the Indian team said.
No, if Indian team is saying that the rest of the teams, the same ethics will follow for the rest of the teams as well. And so I don't agree. Why not the Sri Lankan Cricket Board have raised this point right before this in the meeting of the Asian Cricket Council that Pakistan is the safest country. If we are playing there, why India is not playing there? So issue is that Sri Lanka was happy because you know that they will generate some funds, they will generate some finances through this Asia Cup. They didn't take the proper action, rest like the Bangladesh as well. So I think that only saying this that we'll move these matches towards Hambantota because the weather is dry, weather is okay, that wasn't enough for the as a statement. You can say okay, fine, that they've raised this statement. Rest, I think that all of them, it's an eyewash. They're not taking cricket seriously, to be very honest, because if they've taken the serious cricket this all Asia Cup in the serious manners, they should have told, yes, Pakistan, we'll go to Pakistan, India should come there.
Absolutely. Sir Haider, I went a step further. I was thinking that if you let them use this, fake tactic right now, then eventually you're hosting a Champions Trophy next year. So, that eventually becomes a very dry subject, although it's an ICC tournament and the ICC would have to convince India. But the fact is that BCCI enjoys a very strong position at the ICC. So apparently you were compromising your position for the hosting rights of the Champions Trophy as well, because where every team was agreeing upon coming to Pakistan, one team would have gotten a reason that we didn't go to the Asia Cup, but we won't go again.
Yeah, actually, the role of the BCCI in ICC is very strong, other than all other nations, other countries. And they are providing a lot of finance to ICC. Therefore, they have always very strong voice in ICC. I think ICC is not performing well in those situations where if any country is refusing to play in any other country, then ICC is always silent. We have seen in past also other countries like England and Zimbabwe. And now the next step is the Champions Trophy. And I'm really, really sure that India will resist strongly to play in Pakistan in Champions Trophy. And in this situation, what we have to do and what ICC will do. This is a question. And I think Asia Cup was a premature thing before the Champions Trophy. And if the Asia Cup cannot be played in Pakistan, then Champions Trophy will be also a problem in Pakistan. I think PCB should go strongly to ICC and ask them before time to decide that India is coming to Champions Trophy and all the other countries will come to Pakistan to prepare for it. Otherwise, at the last moment, if you will do some matches in Sri Lanka and some matches in Bangladesh in Champions Trophy, then it will be the same problem. India, they are. I think in this Asia Cup, they were trying to avoid the Asia Cup, or they don't want to reveal their weaknesses before the World Cup. Then we have seen that they are weak against the fast bowling of Pakistan, so there could be a problem for them also in World Cup. Therefore, they were escaping from the Asia Cup. But at the last moment, they have tried, and they are now forced to play in Asia Cup, and they are trying the other tactics. So such things, I think they will do also in Champions Trophy. So we have to see, and we have to prepare for such situation in future, that India will do same thing in Champions Trophy, and it can be affected like that at Asia Cup.
Well, the model itself was something that was going to be very difficult as far as the traveling and everything was concerned. But I think that statement that, has come out from Mr. Jay Shah and the way it's been criticized really does set the tone that this kind of hegemony, I call it, would not continue in the future. I think it's about time that the world realizes this. So obviously, I think sane voices will speak up, and the ICC would be forced to take decisions as far as hosting rights are concerned in the future for ICC tournaments, not for the ACC, which is an autonomous body. And I think the composition of this autonomous body should also be revisited by the Pakistan Cricket Board and other members of this Asian Cricket Council as well. And if for some reason India decides to pull out, then it's up to them. But obviously, the lucrative part of it, that the Pakistan-India game is a crowd seller, broadcast rights, everything involved, is something that nobody wants to back out on, even if they're getting a very small share of that pie financially. I think that's the real reason as far as the PCB is concerned. So we'll talk about this in detail once, things proceed. But so far, Ali Mehdi, to put it into perspective, that Pakistan-India game does become very important, because the Indians are probably hell-bent on proving that it was no fluke that that they couldn't play the Pakistani pace attack. They want to prove it otherwise, including the fans who've been very aggressive on social media, who apparently said that the rain saved us.
You know, they've been extremely aggressive, and that's why I constantly say it over and over again that, and I'm not saying it because I'm biased and from this part of the border. I still feel that our fans are much more mature, and we take a much more mature approach and a rational approach when it comes to social media, and then at the same time, or our fans and our analysts too. I mean, you look at the other side of the border and you look at their social media and you look at their media overall, electronic media. They are so aggressive. They take it to heart. I mean, and they said that this was a complete fluke right now. I heard Gautam Gambhir saying, right, a ridiculous thing that, that our bowling line, our bowling attack, our fast bowling battery is probably as good as Pakistan or even better. So they come out
Gambhir, Irfan Pathan, all of these guys have been really making some chaos on the internet.
They've been saying chaos, but they've been saying this, Ahmed, for the past so many years now, 10 years. I can never forget before the Champions Trophy final, 2017, before they mocked Pakistan. And what did Pakistan do on the final? They completely, they rolled over the Indians too. So Pakistan has to just, this is why I think that our fans over here and our team management, the best thing about our players and the team management is over there that they close their ears. They don't really take the media to heart over there, and they play their best cricket. And we saw that in the other day against India too. And even, on Sunday too, if they play their best cricket, they play the way they been playing, then I can't see India playing. Yes, it's going to be a very good game too, but I think Pakistan have been playing extremely good cricket too. And I just feel that whether the match takes place, because that's another story when it comes to the weather on Sunday or Monday too, I think we're going to have a very competitive game between Pakistan and India too. And it's going to be a very good, and also, because we are playing at the Prema Dosa at Colombo, it's going to be different conditions over there. But one thing I did want to point out regarding the stadium you were mentioning early on is that there are puddles in the stadium too. The thing with the Prema Dosa stadium, Ahmed, is that, it doesn't have a very good drainage system as compared to, other parts of the world in England, Australia, or this and that. So we're really, hoping and fingers crossed that the weather will hold up, like you mentioned before.
But Ali Mehdi, 70% rain is still expected. Even if it is clear right now, the match is bound to be interrupted. And like I said, it's not just about Pakistan, India. It's about the sanctity of, let me be very honest. Let's say if the entire tournament is affected by rain. I read it on an authentic platform that what will happen then is that Pakistan would eventually qualify for the final
because of our first match.
Because of their first match,
Yes,
number one.
yes.
Number two scenario becomes that India and Sri Lanka, let's suppose, are tied on points. A toss would determine
I saw
who
that.
will qualify amongst those.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely unfair. I mean, this is why, when it comes to the chaos, we were talking about this, but I have to revisit this, Ahmed. And the sole responsible person for this whole situation is only Jay Shah. You talk about...
I'm sorry.
Can I ask? I'll say
this question?
PCB is...
No, I'll tell you why.
No.
One thing
Fine. I buy your argument, but please tell me, what about the role of the rest cricket
No,
boards?
I agree. Look,
why they have given up? Why they didn't fight? Why they didn't come up with the strong and solid arguments in the meeting of ACC?
I completely agree with you, Asif bhai, but one thing I want to point out over here for hypocrisy from India's side, you had Rajiv Shukla right now, and also Roger Binney, who's the president of the BCI. They came over here, they said themselves that we were treated like kings, we came over here, we were invited to watch cricket, but what are they? They are the ambassadors. They should
Sorry,
go back.
Ali, sorry.
Let me just...
You have given the respect to your...
But Asif, the question you asked is very genuine, and I have an answer for that.
All right,
if
go
you,
ahead.
If you allow me to.
Go ahead.
Please.
Ali's taken a single, so I'll face the bowling now.
And will you go for the six?
I'm going to try to.
On a swinging wicket.
I'm going to try to. This entire perspective, and this is the sole perspective that I'm giving. So I want to take full ownership and responsibility for the statement I'm about to make. It's a disclaimer right now that I'm giving. The Sri Lankan Cricket Board is entirely involved in this situation.
Yes.
When the tournament was awarded to Pakistan, they were actually of the opinion that it should be awarded to them and not Pakistan. So for them, like Asif, you mentioned, it was a win-win situation.
Yeah,
they
that's
had no
right.
cricket going on. They had half of the Asia Cup, majority, 4 matches in Pakistan and the 6 matches in Sri Lanka. So to be really
70%.
honest, for me, Asif, it is all the Sri Lankan Cricket Board who has achieved in all of this scenario.
So we're on the right and we're on the
what
same
Jay Shah-
page.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying, that now they are shouting and telling that we should move these matches to the Hambantota. What you guys have done in the meetings of Asian Cricket Council, what was your opinion? What was your statements? The only one thing, all right, will play some matches in Pakistan and the rest of the matches in the Sri Lanka. So win-win situation.
Certainly.
Yeah. So
I'll
but-
get
but
Sir
that's
Heather on
right.
this. I'll just get Sir Heather's perspective on this because, as somebody who's seen the world at large, you would understand the situation. So, Sir Heather, if my findings are right, and if I'm saying, and if for once you believe this argument that, like I said, the Sri Lankan Cricket Board has got a win-win situation in all of this, where they were completely involved in this entire scenario, what perspective does it give to the Asian Cricket Council?
I think you're right. They have won all what they wanted. They have got most of the matches. They are earning from the matches. They are getting share in the broadcasting earning, and I think they have won. I can say that the Asia Cup is not being played in Pakistan. Pakistan is not host. Sri Lanka is actually the host of this Asia Cup, and I think it's under the table. Some deals have been done, and Sri Lanka is earning from it. And but Asian Cricket Council, I speak always that what is Asian Cricket Council? We don't see any European Cricket Council. We don't see any American Cricket Council. There is no African Cricket Council. But Asian Cricket Council, what is that? I think it's just to show some power of a big nation, big country. They are using always it, and they are doing what they want. And Asia Cup this time Asia Cup is a big example that what they have done and how they have diverted the Asia Cup from Pakistan to any other country. So I think ICC should intervene. How can ICC say that we don't have any connection in the Asian Cricket Council? If the ICC is the alone single body in the world to regularize the cricket, then they have to see what is going on in the Asian Cricket Council. Asian Cricket Council is just like a parallel body of ICC, and they are doing everything what is against the spirit of cricket and spirit of charter of ICC. So it is really it's a big joke about the Asia Cricket Council and what they have done it. So
Why do this? The question arises that all around the world, cricket is played on a unified platform. I don't see, the only thing that we see bilateral getting popularity is the Ashes. So if you were to, and look, let me be honest, Sir Heather, and I'd like you to please correct me if I'm wrong. The entire prospect and the entire reason for having an Asia Cup is just to see Pakistan and India playing against each other. They are hell-bent, they don't care what other teams are doing. If they want to achieve that, then why not have a Pakistan-India bilateral series, even if it takes place in India?
Absolutely. You are absolutely right, Ahmed, that if they want to show some cricket between India and Pakistan, why they are not going for bilateral series? Why they are not playing the test matches and one-day matches, bilateral series? It's more better than the Asia Cup, where all other small countries like Nepal or other, they are involved in this Asia Cup, and the full of fun is not available. If the Pakistan and India they are playing each other, then broadcasters they can earn more money than Asia Cup. I think I can understand what is the politics at this moment in cricket, and they have always tried to corner the Pakistan, and they are failed, and now they are escaping from the situation. What they have done to transfer the matches from Colombo to any other city, as Asif said, that it could be better in Hambantota, but they have not done. I think they are trying, and they are seeking some help from the weather. So it's a really joke. What people will the world is laughing on this tactics of India. Really, it's a laughing situation.
Absolutely. Asif, I'll just give you one more pointer, then you can wrap this up. We'll then quickly move on to the women's game. Vikrant Gupta has just said it on Twitter and on X, probably now it's called X. Very sane statement. He said a multi-nation tournament deserves a reserve day for each of the Super 4 games, not just Pakistan and India. No rocket science. And P.S. the last statement really is the icing on the cake. He says neither Pakistan or India are the defending champions of the Asia Cup, but Sri Lanka are.
Well, that's why we like Vikrant Gupta. He always comes up with these kind of statements, and I appreciate. One last thing.
Yes.
Heather Bhai was saying, Heather was saying that the rest of the world, they're laughing on the Asia Cup and the ethics of the India. On the other side, they're laughing, but the other side, they're supporting to India. This is the hypocritic face of the rest of the world.
I'm telling you, if the Asia Cup happened, didn't happen, nobody would have been affected. Nobody actually would have been affected by this entire prospect. So we've got to look at it from the eyes of outside Pakistan as well to gauge the importance of this. And like I said, the only prospect was Pakistan, India playing against each other 2 times minimum and 3 times if they reach the final.
See,
That was the only thing.
whenever I have communicated with the Indian journalists, 90% of them, they said that we cannot go against our government. We cannot put pressure to our government to play with Pakistan either in the bilateral series here in India.
That seals the argument. I think
Yeah.
that answers the question
Yeah.
to every argument that we've posed. But now we move your focus, and in fact, if you want to watch the games, you can tune into PTV Sports. Tomorrow we've got Bangladesh facing Sri Lanka, courtesy the weather. On Sunday, it's a big match, Pakistan-India versus the weather. So that's the big match on Sunday. So, obviously time will tell what's going to happen. But now let's move on to the women's game that is live on PTV Sports. South Africa women won the toss and they opted to bat first. They've been, this is a real test, although they got a whitewash in the T20 series.
This is the real test. This is, the 50-over format is going to be the real acid test for the Pakistan girls, and obviously we're backing them too. But after the whitewash and you could say to some extent humiliation that the South African women faced in the T20 series, they bounced back very well over here, and they're in a very commanding position against the Pakistani girls over here. So the Pakistani girls will have to bat very well and have to restrict the South African girls under 300. Otherwise, if it's 300 plus on this sort of a wicket, then it's going to be quite a taking, and it's going to be quite a total to chase too. But it just shows that this 50-over format is a completely different ball game, and it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be very competitive, and it's going to be quite a tall order for the Pakistani women who've got the talent, who've got the potential, but it's a completely different mind game for the Pakistanis.
Right, Sir Haider, great to see that the girls in green are finally getting some attention. They're in some good form. Beating South Africa at home is certainly a big achievement in the T20s, but now this is the real test.
Yeah, exactly. Full-time busy our girls. They are not really far behind our boys team, and they are doing very well. So girls, they are coming slowly on the path like Australia and England women. And once a day, we will see our women team will be also at same level as England, Australia, and other teams. It's a very good. I appreciate it.
Right, Asif, your thoughts on the one-day international, the first of the 3-match series. So far, South Africa look to be in a very comfortable position.
Well, that's right. That the 50-over game, it's a complete change environment, and you'd have to show the nerves. The way both of these players are playing, you have said that your favorite player, but you haven't talked about the favorite player of Ali Mehdi, Alia Riaz. Nowadays, she's been fantastic, and she's playing so nicely.
So Asif Ali for Pakistan.
Asif Ali for Pakistan, of course, and Fakhar Zaman as well. So I think it's a very good, chance for the Pakistan women team to learn the art that how to play the 50 overs games, and they have played really nicely in T20 games. But now this is ODIs, and you would have to show the strong character there against the very strong side of South Africa.
Asif, Bazil Khan is saying everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others. Hashtag Asia Cup 2023.
All right, Bazil Khan is a commentator now. He could write anything. I cannot say anything about this.
But do you agree? Some are more equal than others?
I've the entire program, this is what I was talking about.
Well, that puts a lot of things into perspective. But Sir Haider, Ali Mehdi and Asif, thank you very much for joining us on Sports Extra. Always a pleasure having all of you guys and to discuss this in detail. Look, the fact is the women's cricket in Pakistan has really been improving. Let's be honest, let's appreciate Nida Dar as a skipper, Tawfiq Umar in the coaching staff as well, other coaches as well, the PCB's focus. I mean, getting South African women's team to Pakistan for the very first time is a huge achievement, regardless of the results. And although we were not worried about the results, but a successful tour, because we were able, Sports Extra was one of the only platforms in Pakistan who were able to get an exclusive talk with the South African women's team, where they all have said that they're absolutely in awe of visiting Pakistan. They're happy and they want to play some competitive cricket here. So I think that was a huge achievement as far as your diplomacy is concerned, cricket diplomacy, sports diplomacy, and obviously the cultural boundaries as well. But 3 T20s, 3 one-days, and then of course winning the 3-match T20 series with a whitewash against South Africa is certainly a cherry on the top. The thing is that now they're going to get a big total. They're already cruising right now. I mean, in the next 10 overs they get a good total, about 250 plus something. It's going to be a real task for Pakistan to chase it down. The fact is that your batting would be tested, and that's where you want to improve. The bowling's been good enough, and so is the fielding. But if the batting is improving, I think a lot of prospects for Pakistan women's team in the future as well. That being said, you can watch the game on PTV Sports. It's live on HD, and that wraps it up for me and the entire team. It's goodbye for now.